Hi, I'm Jess Pressland, the CEO of the JP Group. I've been developing managers for over 20 years. In this podcast, I'm going to be sharing my stories and insights to where leaders get it wrong and what they can do to get it right, wherever you are in your leadership journey. In this episode, we're going to be looking at why purpose matters more now than ever. People need to know that their work matters, and it's really important for motivation and for engagement of your employees. And in a world where we're lacking talent quite often and people are really struggling to recruit, it's important that people are given purpose and they feel valued in an organisation. This isn't what is written on your wall, it's how people actually feel. It's about articulating the future and being able to connect people to it. We call it the cascading down of objectives. So the vision and the mission, it goes down to business units and then departments and teams and then down to an individual. And if we get to an individual, they all need to be linked. So you don't want to get to an individual and they go, I'm just thee, or don't ask me, I'm just thee. They need to know that their role is integral to the vision of the business. So if your business wants to grow and you were wanting to become the leading provider of, they need to know that everything they do enables, and it could be, if I do a really great job as an engineer, for example, then the client's going to be happy. We're going to keep our client and they're going to talk about us. So not only will we keep our clients, but we'll get new ones. And as an engineer, they need to know that because it matters, because if they don't do a good job, the client won't want to stay with your business. But I do have a story that I'm going to share with you about a hotel, a big hotel in London, a 5-star hotel. And I was working with them as part of their opening and their launch. I share this with you and it might make some people laugh because they don't have room attendants or cleaners in their hotel. They have that role, but they don't call them that. They call them room stylists. Now, you may laugh listening to this, room stylists. Well, that's just ridiculous. Well, actually, let me share with you about these room stylists and why they're called a stylist. So the vision of the organisation is that they want to be one of the leading hotels in London. So that's the vision. And they don't want anyone to say, well, I'm just the, don't ask me because I'm just the room attendant. They want to empower people. And the reason they're called a stylist is because, yes, they've still got to clean the toilet, but they have autonomy. And they have freedom in their role, this is really an integral part of it, to place the cushions in an order that they like. They can position the bedspread folded at the bottom or halfway up, and they can position those freebies, teas and coffees and the waters and bits and pieces, the way that they like. Just that little positioning. Because what they want us as a business is that room attendant, stylist, is that they step away from that room and they feel proud that that room looks amazing. And that is integral to guest experience, because if the guests go into those rooms and they're not amazing, A, they're not going to want to stay there. They're not going to be reviewing it as this amazing hotel, and they're certainly not going to be paying the price tag that goes with associated to those rooms. They are integral and they know they're integral. And actually, I'm one of the perks of the job is I've got to stay there. And they are not head down in the corridors. Like, how many of you have stayed in a hotel and you've walked the corridor and those room attendants are head down? They don't look at you. Oh no. In this hotel, they are head up and they're like, anything I could help you with? So do you know what? People aren't even nicking stuff off the trolley there because they're like offering it out. I mean, it's great because they're like, oh, did you need any more like tea bags? Would you like anything more for your room? Whereas everyone else waits for them stuck in the room and just grabs that extra tea bag or the bottle of water. You know you have. And I know it's like a humorous story for lots of people, but actually, do you know what? I tell that story, but they get it right. Those people are engaged, actually super proud to work for their hotel. And they know that they make a difference and they're told that. And when the rooms are critiqued to the great standard, they get that feedback. So we talk about engaging people through alignment. That's purpose. So you make sure that they do understand. You have to cascade it down. And I'm sure if I was to ask, would everybody in your business know what your vision was? Because I ask that question a lot in organizations and most of them don't. They're like, oh, it's something around, is it around like growth? Is it around, or I haven't got a clue. Why? Because they're probably told it at an annual conference or an email sent around. And that yearly email to update people on what a vision is not enough. These things need to be talked about and lived every day, every week. On previous episodes where I talked about recognition and giving praise, this is again when someone does a good job. So when those room attendants, those rooms are amazing, they can be praised because that supports the guest experience, which is helping and working towards them being one of the best hotels in London. It matters. So then you've got these people who are engaged, they want to work hard because they feel valued. And so it means to cascade down, you need to know that the work you do contributes to their team. So they are a room stylist team. And as part of the room stylist team, they support and help each other. So if they had gone into a room, there's a bit of a difficult situation. For example, there's been a spillage or a breakage, they help and support each other because they're part of a team, because they know overall the team does that floor. The team does the rooms. They're an individual contributor. They're part of a team that's then part of the wider organisation that's about delivering guest experience. And I would say that most organisations, more often than not, don't get this right because they feel that they've told them, or it's on the wall, or it's on an intranet that people don't access or look at. You need to look at the makeup of your business and where are people and how is that being communicated regularly. So when we are having team meetings, it's referred to, it's talked about, it's built into performance conversations, it's built into feedback. It is not an annual conversation. It's a weekly conversation. If you want to engage people in your business, you need to align them so that they know that they are significant, they're important, and their role matters. And then there's all of those businesses that I've worked with that aren't doing it right. I've seen the disengagement. I've seen people leave. I see this regularly. And what that disengagement means, and people need to realize that if you don't have engagement and you have demotivation, that affects your performance. And overall, we're all there. Your business will not succeed. Businesses do not succeed if you have people that are not performing at the optimum level. So if you get people who are delivering great rooms, if they're not great, then it's affecting because they're not motivated, don't feel valued, they don't see the point in it. So actually they're just doing it and it's a bit sloppy. And therefore your business cannot succeed because your guests aren't happy. They're going to leave bad feedback. Your reputation on TripAdvisor is going to go down. So I think you need to realize that actually the cost of not doing this means that you're accepting a lower level of performance and you're at risk of people leaving because fundamentally for some people, it's one of their core motivation factors. Making a difference and feeling valued is right up there. Thank you for listening to this episode. Visit our website, thejpgroup.org, the podcast page, where you can download our workbook that accompanies this series for you to take what you've heard and put it into practice.